Survival in the wild is often viewed as a brutal equation. The animal with the sharpest claws dictates the terms of life and death. But when an environment faces multi-layered crises, the logic of brute strength fails. Force is ineffective against problems that require coordination. If a tiger cannot secure its own territory, what actually keeps an ecosystem from collapsing? The jungle currently faces three distinct pressures: internal social division, extreme resource scarcity, and a technological invasion. When these nodes connect, the entire system begins to break down. Navigating these threats requires a transition from physical dominance to a system of social strategy. To survive, the animals must prioritize intelligence over intimidation. Internal division starts with petty grievances. When Masha the monkey organizes a gathering and excludes Mowgli due to personal jealousy, she isn't just being spiteful. She is fracturing the community's collective awareness. By removing a key member of the pack, she creates a blind spot that leaves every guest vulnerable. Shere Khan exploits this social tear. Instead of a direct attack, he simply walks into the gathering disguised as an honored guest, using the group's internal confusion to infiltrate their inner circle. The ambush is only avoided because Mowgli prioritizes the group's safety over his own rejection, returning to expose the tiger before he can strike. Social inclusion functions as a defensive layer. By keeping the pack unified, the animals eliminate the gaps that opportunistic predators use to bypass their defenses. The need for cooperation becomes even more urgent during a biological crisis. When the bear, Baloo, falls ill, his recovery depends on a single scarce resource: medicinal honey. The honey is guarded by Harjeet, a badger whose aggression makes a physical confrontation nearly impossible. Even Bagheera's strength is an insufficient tool for this specific job. Securing the medicine requires a pincer movement. One specialist must draw the defender's focus, while others bypass the conflict entirely to reach the objective. Rikki Tikki Tavi provides the necessary distraction, engaging Harjeet's attention. While the badger is occupied, Mowgli and Bagheera extract the cure without a direct blow being exchanged. Surviving scarcity against a fortified opponent relies on interspecies collaboration. Success is found in specialized roles working toward a single shared goal. The final threat is a habitat invasion. Human treasure hunters arrive at the Cold Lair ruins, bringing firearms that make traditional claws and teeth ineffective at a distance. Faced with this technological shift, Shere Khan abandons his role as jungle protector. He retreats to save himself, leaving the rest of the animals exposed. Knowing a physical victory is impossible, Mowgli and the Langur pivot to asymmetrical tactics. They focus on the mind of the intruder rather than their weapons. They use the rumens to their advantage, mimicking ghosts and casting massive, distorted shadows. By exploiting the hunter's superstitions, they force a retreat without ever revealing their true positions. When an ecosystem faces an overwhelming technological force, psychological intelligence and environmental manipulation provide a level of security that raw power cannot. The hunters have been repelled, the bear has recovered, and the tiger's influence has been broken. None of these victories were achieved through physical dominance. In each case, the traditional survival of the fittest model failed to provide a solution. These outcomes demonstrate a fundamental mechanic of survival. A network of different skills, panthers, mongoose, and humans, is more resilient than any single dominant force. Long-term data shows that the probability of survival for those relying on solo dominance eventually flatlines. However, for those who build collaborative alliances, the advantage grows exponentially over time. True strength is the capacity to build a network. It is the social intelligence required to put aside personal conflicts and forge the alliances necessary to survive a hostile environment.